Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on July 13th, 2022. There's actually two other people here. I'm not by myself, but they don't want to come on the screen for technical reasons and whatever, okay? I'm kind of like a stand-up comedian today. But I want to start off by, again, sending best wishes to our good friend, Michael G. Cox. His wife is very ill, and he hasn't been able to make it here. Because of that, I also want to give good wishes to Donna Terrell, who was a semi-regular on this show. She is a teacher who came into recruiting, and I thought she was going to have a fabulous career because she's relaxed, she's a great communicator. I felt comfortable talking with her from like the first minute she came on, but she just announced that she's going back to school in September. I do have an idea about why. Here's what she wrote about recruiting. She put a little posting on my group on Facebook, and it was called How to Win at Cold Calls. And she said, I might call 200 people before someone answers and the first person to answer might tell me off for bothering him, okay? But why in the world would anyone keep doing this? And if it's so bad, here's why. Because sometimes on call number 202, the person answers who's in desperate need of a change. Okay, so you make a placement after 200 calls. Not only make a placement, you've really helped somebody. But you know what? That sounds terrible. It doesn't sound like fun, okay? And my guess is that's why she's going back to school. I haven't asked her, but that's my guess. I'm always interested in name diversity. That's a favorite of mine.
Okay. Are you talking about Donna?
Hold on a second. Are you here?
Are you talking about Donna? Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you now. But I was busy with another screen. Yeah.
Right. Okay, you're talking about Donna.
Yeah, Donna's gone.
Oh, yeah, she's gone.
She's going. She's on her way out. Okay. And there's two other people listening.
But how long she have done recruiting for? Like 10 years? No, I thought she was very.
No, a year and a half.
No, she's a year and a
half. I think she started in January 2020. Okay, or 2021. 2021, I think. Yeah, 2020. That's right. Anyway. She's lasted 2 years. If she would have been on her own, I don't know if she would have. I don't know if she would have left.
Once you get the taste of the money.
Yes, because she's really good. Wouldn't you agree with me?
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
I would hire her in a flash, wouldn't you?
True.
Yeah, and pay her a great percentage just to stick around. Anyway, getting back to the important topic of name diversity, okay? I saw this name a few times this week on my Facebook group. It's spelled JKAC. And I kept wondering, how do you say it? Because I said it JCAC. But I actually looked it up. I was moved before the show. I looked it up on Google, and there was a site that told me how to pronounce it. It's JCOC. JCOC. I don't know what nationality it is, okay, but hey, Jaycock, maybe it's a nickname and I don't realize it, but there was enough, it's popular enough that someone put on the pronunciation, Jaycock. And you know what? If that was my name, I wouldn't mind someone calling me Jaycock. Although, let me ask you something, okay? The first time, this is for you, Mario, that's MarioTheRecruiter.com. We've got Clang.so. He's listening. David Marr, I don't know anything about him, so I can't introduce him. But Mario might know. Yeah, the first time, sorry, everybody, I'm just going to be honest. The first time I saw someone with the name Harshit, I thought he should change his name if he's working in North America. Right?
But we have guys who work with that name. Okay? As long as they don't say Harshit, it's okay.
I don't know, anything that's got the word shit in it. I think you should, change your name to Bill or change your name to some other name from your region.
I agree. We some of our guys use pseudonyms.
But I got to tell you, we could get in big trouble, I think, for saying something like that. That's my hunch. Well, no, Mario's gone as well. Okay, we can't show his face. Okay, I saw a complaint on Twitter this person says, imagine putting someone through a month-long interview process and then giving them only 24 hours to make a decision. What a clown show. Okay, this really happened to somebody. But my thought was, after a month, shouldn't the candidate be ready to say, yeah, I like it. I'm ready to go. Anybody want to comment? Dave, you can leave me a message there, or you can talk if you want. Or Ivan, anybody want to say something? I've already given my opinion. You know, I don't like this exploding offer type stuff where they say, you know, 24 hours is all you have to say yes or no. I think that's nonsense. But
Yeah, especially
really,
if it was like so bad before, right? Especially
pardon
if you
me, what?
especially if you let the candidate wait for such a long time, and now suddenly you expect a rapid fire decision, that's like double bad.
Why? But the candidate should know by now. Don't you think so?
That is true, but it is also a very big life decision, and I don't know why people
Okay.
expect
Well, here's
24
the
hours
thing.
to be
Okay.
enough.
You know, I got to tell you, maybe you don't want to talk loud. Okay. Dave Marr says it's not a professional nor positive candidate experience. And if I was the employer, I wouldn't want, I can't read the rest. Okay. Sorry. Maybe someone else should read it and pass it on to me. But Ivan, you might not want to talk loud because you're walking out in public and you won't want to seem like a mental case. But people are talking on their phones all the time at the top of their voices. And, you know, it would help if you spoke a little louder on the show. Okay. I've never dealt with disembodied voices before, but that's my tip. Okay, but here's the thing. This happened to somebody else. I saw a few postings about it, and the recruiter warned the company, don't do it. Don't do it. The candidate is not going to like it. You're going to turn her off, and you've dragged out the hiring process so long, she's got another company, you know, that's interviewing her. You are gonna lose her. And they still insisted on doing it their stupid way. Okay?
Hey,
Anyway.
sorry, I got cut off, animal. What happened? What did I miss?
But the company interviews a candidate for a month. She's got 4 interviews, and then they're ready. They come with the offer, but she has to answer within 24 hours. Okay? The recruiter said that's not fair. The candidate's not going to like it. I say that's true. It's kind of brusque, but after a month and 4 interviews, the candidate should know already whether she wants a job or not. How much thinking does she have to do? What do you say?
Correct. I agree with you. Obviously, a month and 4 interviews, craziness.
Okay, so but so
our candidates won't wait that long. Seriously.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay,
no way.
but I think the company is at fault here. They're stupid. Okay,
Yeah, they're definitely stupid. They're worse than stupid. They're numbskulls. And I tell the hiring manager that to the face.
They are, everybody. They are, and believe us, it's really common for these big shots, you know, to drag their feet. Oh, we have to have 3 people on the panel to interview, and so we can't get them together for another 2 weeks, and they drag it out, and then they insist on the candidate having the on the candidate coming. Oh yeah, come right away. We can't wait for you. There's big people. There's people in high positions making lots of money.
Do you know why they do that? Do you know why they do that? Because they are not only stupid, they're scared to take accountability. That's the reason. They're scared to take accountability for their decision making in the hiring process.
Oh, that's why they drag it out. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
obviously.
No. Sometimes they've got a protocol. They have to have a panel of 3 people.
Why is that protocol there? Because people want to shift the blame. That's the reason. There's a reason why something's placed.
Necessarily, they might want not one person to have too much power, and they want, you know, they want people to make sure. Which brings me, can do me a favor.
Compliance reason.
You read his. David's giving us all kinds of messages. Read them and tell me if they're important.
Okay, precisely. Okay. If you want to hire top talent, you will not be successful with that approach.
Yeah, don't mumble it, okay? There's people listening to the show. There's 1 or 2 people who are going to watch the show.
Sorry.
He's saying, no, read it out clearly, okay?
Okay, precisely. If you want to hire top talent, you will not be successful with that approach. Agreed.
Okay,
A
we all
players
agree.
always have multiple irons in the fire. Agreed a second
Okay,
time.
but hold on. I have a question that came to mind for this. Okay, and Ivan's welcome to comment as well. But should the recruiter, I've never foreseen this kind of thing, although it's happened to me, but should the recruiter in the intake session foresee this possibility and say, look, okay, I don't want you playing any of these games with me where you drag out the interview and then you insist on this exploding offer. No exploding offers if you're going to work with me. Okay, should the recruiter say that?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't believe
clients, it. No, we ask clients when we work with a prospective client, what's your hiring timeline? That's the first question we ask. What is your hiring timeline from interview to offer? How long does it normally take?
Yeah.
Is it a week or 2 weeks?
But our question is something different. Our question is, how much time do you give the candidate to make up her mind after the offer comes?
24 hours.
That's you, okay? But what about the companies? They're not all 24-hour operators. No, Ivan, you want to comment?
Our one's in 24 hours.
Ivan, I'm looking up to heaven.
I think
I see no reason to just say, like, take how much time you want. I don't like this is, I think, the best approach.
Okay, but no. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, should a recruiter take this up in the initial intake session and warn the client, don't do this to me? Should that be a consideration?
Yeah, I did that before. Like, if they said they do this, I said, please.
No. That's not what I'm asking. You know, should you make sure they won't tell you? They're too stupid usually to say that. They'll drop it on you at the end. Okay, after you've done all the work, they'll do something stupid to screw it up. So should you ask them in advance? Hey, I don't want you to surprise me. Is this one of the tricks you played? Did you demand a 24-hour turnaround on the offer? Should you ask them that if they don't mention it?
Maybe. It depends on how well the call goes. I mean, if the client is reasonable up until the end, I won't. But if it's like already like funky stuff, I would like probably consider asking it in a polite way.
Okay. Anybody else got something to say? I think that's an important issue. It's happened. I just saw it in two different people had the same experience. I've had something similar. I think it's important. Okay. Let me see what else. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, here's something else. Well, there was another guy who said, look, if you have a bad feeling, Gavin said it. He said, this is one of the key mistakes that he's made in recruiting for 19 years. If he has a bad feeling, and I think Ivan said the same thing, and I took him to task for it. Sorry, I haven't told you what it is. But he said, if I got a bad feeling about the client in the initial conversations, he said, walk away. He said, lots of times I've persisted with them, and those, even if I made the placement, it was dragged out, and it was a lot of hard work that it shouldn't have been. And I remember Ivan said, well, they asked me all kinds of questions about myself. And I said, what kinds of questions? And you said it wasn't the questions, it was the way they were asking them, like they didn't trust me and stuff like that. So this guy, Gavin, said, if you have that feeling in your gut, don't be afraid to say, you know what, I don't think this is a job for me. What do you say about that, Mario? Would you tell somebody?
Agreed. Yeah, why not?
Would you say to isn't that I would be kind of shy to say, you know what, I don't get a good vibe. I don't get a good vibe from you. I don't like you. What?
No, you never say that. You don't say it straight to the face.
What do you say?
You're like, okay, cool. Everything's cool. Then in the back of your mind, you decide, okay, I'm putting these orders to the back end of my team's work. So
yeah, I don't work like that. What's David Marr saying?
Bite you back. David says, in the search world, I agree, interview clients as you do candidates. It's better to have one client that aligns with your style and gives you all their business.
Yeah, he's a good communicator, everybody. This Mario, you could tell he's relaxed, he's clear, but when he's not a good reader, he's not a good reader because I've asked him to make it clear. And
I'm sorry,
Dave. I'm sorry,
David. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm not a good reader. Okay, I'm
he's in the cheap seats. He's in the cheap seats. This is what he gets. I bet if Donna was here, she'd do a good job with that.
She's a teacher.
Yeah.
She naturally has to read to people. I command people. Okay, that sounds too harsh. All right, no, I don't.
No, he wants to be a boss. See, regular Donald Trump.
No, not Trump. Not Trump, please. I'm not a Trump fan.
I'm just joking.
Thank
okay.
God.
Where was I? What was I talking about?
My red tie, right? Yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway, here's another thing. The company called the headhunter. They called the headhunter. They said, look, we've got an opening. We've got a search recruiter already working on it. He's not bringing anybody in. Okay, we'd like you to take a shot. And so you give them, the recruiter gave them his fee, and they said, well, this other guy's charging less. He said, we'll go to that, stick with him, right? He's not bringing it, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys, okay?
Exactly. Beautiful.
That's what you should say. You could actually say that to them. Oh, I know what the question I had before was. I would never do that, what you said. Just take the order, pretend I'm taking it, and not work on it.
No. I don't, listen to me. Let me clarify. I have a team who works with me. Okay, so I can give it to someone just to work it for the sake of working it. Okay, but if the guy is a douche on the call or the lady is not a person you can work with, I don't care. I say, okay, cool, thank you, have a nice day, bye-bye. And I won't mail them after that. That's it.
No, what you're saying is, and I've heard lots of people say, yeah, okay, I'll take the order, but I won't work it. I think that's bad for your brand, but I can't imagine telling someone, you know what, I don't like, I'm trying to think it through while I'm talking now. I don't like you, okay? I don't get a good vibe from you.
Listen,
I don't want to work. Leave me a chance. I'm getting worked up here. I don't want to work with you. I don't want to sully my hands with your stinking attitude, okay? Find some other sucker to do that job, okay?
You sound just like Seinfeld, okay?
No, that doesn't sound okay, but maybe.
The last line. Okay, listen, one thing. The world is very small, okay? The person whom you talk with and you say that could become a hiring manager in another company and can cost you a massive contract. Okay.
Well, yeah, I think it's still gonna, if you say take the job order like you're gonna work it and you don't, that'll cause you.
See, normally we work all the job orders we take, even the bad ones. You never know what you learn from it. Okay, I've told my team upfront, they work everything under the sun. Even I work, but the difference is, okay, if it's an attitude problem or it's a recruiting problem. Okay, if the salary is too low or the what do you call the requirements for the role are too complicated, then we get back to them. But if the person's a jerk, yeah, we're not going to move forward.
Okay, Dave says, don't slam it in their face. Okay,
yes,
well, give me a tactful way of saying it. I don't think we got. Oh, here's another issue. You could say, you know what, Dave, or Bill, or Harshit, or JCAC, or whatever your name is. Look, I got a feeling that we're not on the same wavelength. I don't think I'm necessarily the best recruiter for you. I wonder if I can.
Now that you mentioned it, I actually had a very bad call with a prospective customer about a prospective client about just after Corona. Okay, the guy, to schedule the call, it took me 2 weeks. Okay, and when the guy got on the phone, his only thing was he was trying to bring down my fee. All right, and I told him straight to the face, yeah, I don't know your background. I said, you're not paying me till I fill the position. So what's your problem? And I told him very straight, I'm so sorry. I totally get it. Thank you for your time. We cannot work together. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
But you cut him off just like that?
I cut him off. I really cut him off. The guy was a total douche. I actually remember this guy.
This is the guy was saying don't burn bridges, and he cuts me.
No, but he was. I would burn the bridge with that guy because he was a total douche. He told me to upfront, I'm getting this percentage from other people and you're charging so much. I don't even know you. I said, then why the hell are you talking to me? If you don't know me, I agree. Maybe we may not work together, but yeah, 100% sure. Could not work with the guy. That guy was going to be a pain. I may have lost 100K in business, but it's okay. I'm okay with it.
Ivan, are you still with us?
Yeah, I think the reason why recruiters have such hard life is that client choice is very, very, very hard, and all of us. Like...
Iwan, I'm sorry to say this to you. We don't have a very hard life. We actually have a pretty good life.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Compared to most compared
to most people who work,
you're right.
We have a very low barrier to entry, yes, but a person who's willing to put the effort can get results. Okay. So you can't say we have a hard life. Yeah,
I'm going to take Ivan's side. I'm taking Ivan's side against you on this. Okay.
Bring it on.
Ivan, but here's the point. You brought it up and I gave you a hard time, and I'm switching over now. I'm coming out on your side with these bad vibes. Okay. With the bad vibes. With your bad experience with that, what would you do now if you got the bad vibe? A, would you turn the client down? And B, how would you do it?
I mean, it's always like, how bad is the vibe, right?
You know what? This guy, you can't pin people down, okay? He came out clearly before. He wrote about it. I can find it on his Facebook page.
Now he's saying, well, if Ivan was on the call with me that day when I took the call, okay, he would have got the vibe in the first 5 minutes of talking to the guy.
Okay. Well, you could, yeah, okay. 5 minutes is a long time. You should get.
It's just the way the guy itself brought out the conversation. When it came to the fee, all right, he was just trying to lowball, thinking, just because you quote another person, yeah, okay, I agree, they may be cheaper, but heck, the amount of work we do delivers results. Okay, so what I agree with Ivan. In the first few minutes, you can figure it out.
Okay, let's hear Ivan. Ivan, let me nail him, corner him. Okay. You don't like the vibe, okay? It's 70 out of 100 or 80 out of 100. You made it clear before, these people who bombard you with questions about yourself in a way that you don't enjoy, okay? Let's make, don't start shilly-shallying, okay? You don't like it. You don't get a good feeling from this person. Would you walk away from them, A, and how would you do it, if so?
I would just make the price really like a high prepayment or something like that.
You wouldn't say, look, I don't get a good vibe. I don't think we're a match for each other.
What if the guy's trying to lowball you on price? Then what would you do, Ivan?
Well, that's perfect for him.
Just make a very high, extremely high
You see, Ivan, here's what Ivan is doing, and you're doing as well. Somebody corners you at a party. It's nice to talk to them for 2 minutes, someone you don't know, or 5 minutes maybe, and you want to break away. You've got nothing else to say. It's not even that they're boring, right? People, I used to ask people on the show all these networking questions. They're all talking about networking. I'd say, well, let's say you meet someone at a conference and you want to stop talking. How do you do it? Oh, I have to go to the washroom, or I have to get a new drink. They never say, well, I've talked out. That's about all. I'm going to move on and talk to somebody else.
No, I said, it's a pleasure meeting you. I got to meet someone else now.
You tell the person, I don't want to talk with you anymore. I'm going to find someone else.
You're not the crude person. You're saying, it's a pleasure to meet you. I will catch up with you a little later. And just go to the next person. Okay,
at least there's his take. But Ivan copped out, okay? Oh, David agrees with him, okay? Anyway, here's something else, though, with regards to the bad vibe, okay? Somebody, in fact, the guy I like, Jeff, I won't mention his last name, he's a career coach, and he was talking about how it's hard to assess culture fit in an interview. And I think so too. It's hard to assess culture fit or personality. And this woman commented, she said, anybody who's talking about culture fit as opposed to culture add really has to take an inclusive interviewing course. And what is culture add as opposed, what is culture add really?
I think what you can add to the culture. I assume that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but that tells me nothing. I got that from the term culture add. But if you're not a culture fit, why would they want you there? I mean, really?
Exactly. The woman's crazy. Put on the crazy.
No, she isn't. I'd say most. You haven't been around as long as we have. Okay, about 10 years ago, culture fit was like the hot new topic. Yeah. Every idiot was saying culture fit, culture fit. Oh yeah, I'm cool. I know all about culture fit. And then slowly, it was being accused of being just nothing but a source of bias, where these startup guys would hire the people they knew in university to work for them. You know what? Doesn't that make sense? You're hiring people who you know already, and you know they can do the job. But apparently that's like nepotism or something like that. Okay, so instead you go for people you don't know.
This is the fall of a successful company. when you don't hire people and you look at all these diversity and all this stuff, right?
That's what David Marr's saying. It's a DEI issue. Okay, but what does that mean? Okay, culture add. What it means is that if you're missing something in your culture that's really a fit, then you'll bring the person in because they're a fit. Okay. I mean, if I'm bad, look at our good friend Priya Shethna. Okay, I can't remember the name of her. What's the name of her partner?
Yuki Careers.
Yeah, but what's her? She's got a partner. The partner does all the business development. Okay, and Priya does all the sourcing and recruiting. Okay, I can't imagine why she's not good at business development, but because she's obviously not shy, she's a good communicator. But she said her partner does that. So her culture add is really a culture fit for her. Okay, that fills a gap, but not in a way that it doesn't fit. It fits. I think I don't get it. Okay, hey everybody, I'm a bad person. I don't understand that term exactly. Come out.
I swear, you're just like Jerry Seinfeld. I'm not joking. I saw an episode of that yesterday. It was awesome.
Okay. Anybody else who's listening want to add something clear about culture add? Don't tell, maybe before the next show, I'll look it up and come up with some examples myself. But don't tell me like Dave just did that it has to do with DEI. I know that already, okay? Ivan probably doesn't even talk about that in Switzerland, okay? He's over there. Okay, let me see. Okay.
Let's go to something else, Animal. The topic is boring.
This recruiter called a company and he ended up with the president. He wanted to talk to somebody else. It was a business development call. I guess a small to medium company. And he wanted to talk to somebody else, but the receptionist put him through to the president. And so he made his pitch. He said, I want to do business with you. He said, let me talk to that other guy. Hold the line. Okay. And so he talked to the other guy, he came back, he says, he tells you to pound sand. Now, I don't know what that means about like having sex with the sand or just pounding it with your hands, but it's not nice. What would you say if the president said to you, go pound sand?
Good luck surviving in the market.
Oh, you wouldn't tell him to fuck off or go fuck yourself. I say good luck pound sand. Don't talk to me like that. How dare you?
Why do you waste your energy? The guy's a moron, a douche. You make him a source company. Simple as that. And you rip through the company. Make it a point to hire from there.
Okay. I would take a lesson. I would take a lesson, everybody, from our good friend Greta Thunberg. How dare you? I mean, I'm looking bad today. How dare you? Anybody else want to comment? Feel free. Ivan, I didn't forget about you. Let me do an ad for Ivan. I wasn't going to do it because you're not showing your face. Because he's got a nice big sign beside his head that says clang.so. But I'll do the ad anyway because I like Ivan. Okay, even though we say his name wrong all the time, it's Iwan. It's spelled like I-won, but Iwan. Anyway, he is an IT recruiter in Switzerland. And he is such a go-getter and he's got lots of, energy. So he's actually built his own applicant tracking system and it's called clang.so, Klang.so.
And has social media too. Don't forget that.
It's got some social media tools. If you go to clang.so, this guy, Mario the Recruiter.com, he uses it. Okay. And he likes it. And
you like the new design? You like the new design?
Yeah. I love it, man. Awesome job. I didn't get a chance to chat with you about it.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay. Mario never wants to advertise, which is fine with me. I feel I would like to advertise him.
Thank you. Please advertise us. Let us go global first.
The candidate goes out to the company. These are real stories, people. I comb through Facebook. I have a big group there, but I go to other groups as well, and I look for the stories that I think you're going to love. Okay. Which let me say something. Nobody wants to be a guest on this show anymore. It's the most fun show. Can't you tell? You've been watching for half an hour already. We have fun. We like to argue. There's nothing wrong with that, So why don't you be a guest? It doesn't cost any money. And is there anything else?
You're going to be famous.
Yeah, you'll be famous. Maybe 5 people will see you. My show, when it was the only online call-in show about recruiting, it used to have a better audience. These guys are passing notes now. Well, there was nothing like that. What happened was people used to, leave notes on Twitter while we were talking. And Maureen, who was a regular in those days, she would read them and feed them back to me, and we would talk to the audience. But sometimes we'd have a few people. Okay, let me go on. So anybody, you're welcome to become a guest or just a guest panelist, right? Or you could just be in the audience, disembodied like the other people here today. Okay, okay. Here's the thing. This guy goes out for an interview. The candidate goes out. They set up a second interview, but in the interim, he talks to a friend of his, and I have a feeling from the note that they're from an ethnic community, and the friend knows the president of the company, and he tells the candidate, you don't want to work for this guy. Okay. So the candidate comes back to the recruiter, says, I want to cancel that interview. Okay. What do you say to the candidate, Mary of therecruiter.com?
Well, you can't do anything. He wants to cancel the interview. Okay, go ahead. That's it.
Really?
No pushback. Yeah, because see, he might have got some. See, normally I don't believe in that concept. Okay. I believe unless you go and experience something, you cannot make a judgment call on something. Okay. But especially when it comes to a job, if the candidate doesn't want to proceed further, we don't push that. Even if it's a stupid reason, and we have had candidates give some dumbass reasons. Okay. All right. And this is a stupid reason, or maybe very crucial for him, because he might have got information which only they know. I mean, insiders know how the boss is. And no one wants to go and work for a shitty boss.
Okay. Now, the thing is, you raised an interesting question.
Finally, Rich.
A couple of them. Yeah. Okay. Well, hold on a second. So, the Super Rich is here. Boy,
yeah,
you missed a lot of good questions.
Yeah, what did I miss? What did I miss?
Oh, let me finish this one. Okay. Well, I'll tell you the thing. The recruiter sends a candidate out for the interview. It goes well. A second interview is arranged. The candidate speaks to a friend, I think from a specific ethnic community, okay? And the friend says, I know the president at that company, you don't want to work for him. So the recruiter comes back, the candidate comes back, the recruiter says, I want to cancel the interview. Now, Mario said something, maybe I'm misinterpreting what he said, but I kind of liked it, that if the candidate is that silly that he just wants to cancel, and that you think it's irrational, you don't want someone joining a company who's not rational. You don't want people doing things the right thing for the wrong reason because they're stupid. You can't count on them. Is that what you're saying, Mario? Or are you busy
agreed.
there?
No, I agree with you.
Okay, so because this recruiter, what she said, look, I understand and I respect that you went to this friend to do some research, but you're not going to know for sure unless you go out and ask them questions directly in the second. But I know I asked Rich a question 5 minutes ago, but I was in motion before you got here, Rich, and I'm just going to finish it off, okay? But like Mario said, Mario's a very smart guy, even though he's younger, okay? He said
I'm old as a hills animal.
Yeah.
I'm probably
They might know some secret information.
Sure.
Is actually too secret to even check out in the second interview. You can't come and ask it. I heard you beat your wife. Okay. You can't say that. Okay. So there might be secret stuff. Okay. Rich, over to you. What would you do in that situation?
I mean, I would try to convince the candidate to have the interview. So, it's, like it happens all the time in my space because it's all sales guys networking around. So yeah, I mean, listen, you may hear, this guy's a jerk. And I mean, I talk people out of going to other companies' interviews all the time because I know the guy's a jerk he's going to work for. I'm like, have at it. But, I mean, I told you my best email ever wrote was an email saying, you're tired of working for an asshole. Call me. All right. And it was a very true statement. The guy
you did tell us that.
Yeah. I mean, but so I use the same thing when I'm talking to candidates. I'll tell them, hey, listen, this is what I know about the company. It's a horrible place, but do your thing. But if a candidate comes back to me and says, I heard this, sometimes I can convince them to go have the interview because listen, do your own research. I always tell them like this because they all say, I'm going to go check it out. I'm like, all right, well, listen, just make sure you interview, do your own research, hear for yourself, get your questions answered. If you hear something negative, great, bring it up in the interview. If the guy doesn't like it, well, he's an asshole. Who cares? But, just taking some third party's word for it you have no idea what happened. Maybe the guy slept with his wife, which I've had happen actually in these interviews. So you got to find out for yourself.
That's a hell of a story.
That's a really good story.
The candidate had a friend who slept with whose wife?
So there was two stories. There was one, the candidate. I'm trying to get it. It was a long time ago. It was like 12 years ago. The candidate knew the hiring manager because the hiring manager had slept with a buddy of his wife, I think it was. And then another company where the hiring manager was the hiring manager at a previous company, was a VP at a director at a previous company. He actually stole a candidate's or an employee's ID, like his social security number and everything, his personal identification stuff. And
that's scary. The stuff about cheating on with the marital affair, I don't know if that affects business at all. Okay,
no,
that's kind of irrelevant. But this other thing, this story about stealing a social insurance number, it is scary.
Big time. Oh yeah, big time. The sleeping around is just funny and whatever. It's personal choice.
It's not funny if you're on the receiving end. Mario, did you want to say something?
Receiving end you're on.
No, I'm going to stay out of this. Okay.
I want to compliment Rich. Actually, somebody else paid a compliment. You see, I don't like it when Rich is always, his head is down there, but Andres, who's going to be back here on August 24th, that's nice. I can actually say I know someone in Iceland, and he points out that Rich adjusts his head right so Iceland's in the center of the screen, right above his head.
Look at that.
Right above his head. He said that he makes him, as an Icelander, feel so good. Because those people from Iceland, there's not many of them. They're a minority, so minorities like to be affirmed. Okay, they feel insecure. They like people to recognize them. Okay,
I try to make them feel good. It's a map of all the places we've been. Actually, you can pin it, and so
nice.
It's pretty cool. So,
Rich, are you coming to Thailand anytime soon?
What?
You're coming to Thailand anytime soon? Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. Let me know.
Thailand's on our list. Thailand.
Awesome. Let me know. I will meet up there at least.
Yeah. I'd love to. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll still make fun of the animals sitting over there. Okay.
Yeah.
So going back to the question, Rich regularly tells people, you don't want to work for this guy. He's a jerk. But when their good friend tells them the same thing, Rich says, don't listen to that guy. What does he know? Okay.
Well, see, I know from multiple sources. They know from one source.
Yeah.
Okay.
I may know.
He's pulling the recruiter networking card.
Exactly.
I've heard that in discussions of religion. If one person says God spoke to him, you don't want to believe him. But if 10 people say, God said the same thing to all of them.
Excuse me, even if 10 people tell me, I'm not going to believe that shit.
Exactly.
I'm like, good, let God talk to you. I don't give a damn. Let God talk to me personally. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Okay, maybe Rich also, we had a big discussion, pointless, about culture ad. Do you know what culture ad is?
Culture ad? No.
Yeah. Culture
Not
ad.
A clue. I know culture
ADD.
Culture ad? No clue.
Okay. There, on a related thing, there was a question: are cis women diverse? Okay. There's a recruiter, a very successful technical recruiter, and she posted. She said, diversity numbers plummet as companies lay off recruiting teams full of cis women. Okay, that implies that straight women are not really, I think, diverse. Okay,
what is a cis woman?
That means your psychology is the same as your body. Okay, you're a cis man.
Okay,
I assume.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Let me Google it. Cis. What does
Okay, go ahead. I'm positive I'm right. Okay.
I thought it was like a white.
And the big question is why? I've seen the story. I've seen it discussed in many, many places. Why lesbians won't go out with trans women? Okay.
I guess. Well, if you're, wouldn't that make them not a lesbian?
Anyway, let's put that to the side before we get in real trouble.
You're really tanking your show, okay?
Yeah.
I say you're gonna tank your show.
Okay. Yeah, somebody's going to say, you know what? I don't think I'm going to come to the recruiting animal show anymore. He's going to get me in trouble. Okay, I guess because from being there, associating with this
Hey, listen.
guy. But I have read about this. It's a big issue, especially in England. Go ahead.
Animal, I saw a post of a lady saying that she didn't want to join your show because it wasn't her style.
Yeah.
I posted that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I posted it.
I was
Animal doesn't want to
thinking,
join the show.
You know, here's the funny thing. Go ahead. No,
you know the funny thing? I was laughing at whether she Donna Versace or something to worry so much about her style. Like, this is one of the most fun shows around, man.
That's what
Crazy.
I think, but it's not for, look, lots of people aren't fun. Don't you know that?
Yeah, that's 100%. I agree with you.
People like to be, people think they're
We
more
are the fun
serious than
crowd.
important. No,
Yeah,
I think we are. Okay.
people think the people are more serious than they think they need to be. There was just listening on the radio this morning. There was some politician was in like where she was, I don't know, someplace down in Texas or whatever, and was saying how she was people are offended because she was in this, Latin community, and basically said like three different things. We were diverse about this thing, like whatever, white people, black people, and and we got these great tacos and like whatever in this Latin community. So everyone got offended by this, I don't know what everyone. Certain people got offended. People get offended by everything now. No, it was this whatever we were just talking about. Everyone
you can flip a quarter and offend someone nowadays.
Yeah, everyone gets offended by everything.
Okay, okay, we're making ourselves look bad. Okay,
Yeah.
please trust me.
We are already bad.
Okay.
Obviously.
I have an important question to ask, a practical question. Okay, is it bad to interview a candidate while she's driving? Would you do an interview with a candidate while she is driving?
For me, about a screening interview?
Okay, Mario, did you want to answer?
I'm sorry, Rich, please go ahead.
No, you go. I just say for me to interview a person while they're driving, no problem. A client, I wouldn't do it.
Same thing.
Yeah,
I agree with Rich. Who cares?
Why? Why the difference, Rich?
Because the client, I mean, you want them to be really truly focused. They can't give you a flipped answer. Where for you and I, they can give us a real answer that may not be politically correct in some cases or whatever. But with the client, you want him to be focused. Who wants to hear him swearing at a guy cutting him off and everything?
Yeah.
Well, these other people were saying something different. They were more goody than you. Okay,
yeah,
they were saying distracted driving is like driving impaired. I will not interview while a candidate is driving. I will always reschedule.
Seriously, people are so stuck up. I mean, come on, you need to make the candidate. If the candidate is good, if that's the only time you're going to get the candidate on the phone, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like they're driving drunk.
It sounds like the same people who are afraid to call people at work.
Yeah, seriously, I agree with Rich on that part.
I'm not a social worker. I'm here to do a job, and if that's when they can talk, that's when we'll talk.
Hey, we're here to make money. That's it.
Exactly.
Okay, Jerry says.
We're screwing ourselves for sure.
Jerry says, don't get in touch with a no-show. If somebody ghosts you, don't call them and ask why.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with Jerry. Why not?
Depends, but usually, yeah.
Ivan, do you want to comment? No? Okay. Ivan's here, by the way. There's also a fellow named David Marr, Rich. Just I'm introducing you, Dave, okay? Just in case one day you decide to come on. He's got some kind of lousy internet that he can't, it's going to use up too much bandwidth if he comes on.
Ivan?
Not Ivan, Dave Marr. Okay, but listen to this. Last week, I guess you guys must have heard maybe in Southern Ontario, there was like no internet for the whole day. I mean, from the time I woke up till 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Yeah. Luckily, I have a bell phone. I could call people to see if their internet was working, and nobody answered because they had Rogers phones as well. So that's advice for people. Don't get the same provider for your phone as your internet, because if one goes out, then you've got the other. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. It makes sense, but I know people want that extra discount. Okay. Don't get in touch with a no-show. Rich didn't agree with it. Okay.
Well, the difference. Don't get in touch with a no-show, or don't work with the no-show. If the guy goes,
isn't it the same thing? What are you going to get in touch with him for? To ask him?
Yeah, sometimes it's like a real reason. Like last week, like 2 weeks ago, my daughter had to get rushed to the hospital. So you know what? I missed, a couple calls, and shit does happen.
Well, yeah, but it's up to you to call those people back and let them know, not for them to run after you when you stiffed them.
Very true. That is true.
Is she okay now?
Yeah, she's all good. She's all good.
Good.
Couple days of rest was good. So.
Okay. What about this? This was advice. I have a friend who likes to send me job hunting articles now. So I actually look at them because he asks me about them after. And this one said, there's 4 magic words that a candidate should use when she gets the offer. Is there any flexibility? Then stop talking. Okay. The recruiter might not know. So it says, tell the recruiter, would you please check and get back to me? Don't accept the offer until you know. You don't have to say, I need more money. You don't have to say, I want $5,000 more. You just say, is there any flexibility? Because if you don't ask, you won't find out. Anybody got an opinion on that?
That's actually a very nice way of saying it.
Yeah, it's a great way to say it. Absolutely.
I'm going to steal it.
So you guys liked it. I thought it was a little too
vague.
See,
it's polite. It's polite. It's slowly, it's not crude. Like, I want more money, or this is not enough.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to ask it.
It's actually very smooth. I like it.
Wow.
I like it.
Wow, Dave likes it too.
Yeah, I mean, we all three like it. I mean, hopefully Iwan is in the same
I didn't give Rich's, everybody, Rich's number 11.
11
okay? Number 11, that's what his hockey sweater says for the best all-American recruiters, okay, team. Number 11, and he's the top solo recruiter. These other ones all have big companies behind them, okay? And his company is cornerstonesearch.com. And there's a number of Cornerstone searches. Make sure you get the right one, okay? It's an honor that he graces us here with his presence.
I agree. We all bow down to Rich.
You guys are too nice. Too nice.
Okay, we got a few minutes left.
Thank you for all the advice. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay.
The beers are in Thailand at least.
Okay. Here's what I know the response I'm going to get from you guys. But this woman said, she said, this is her recruiting secret, how, her strength as a recruiter. I ask God, sorry, I ask God to lead me to the candidates he wants me to provide the open door to.
You know how obnoxious that shit sounds, okay? That's so obnoxious, I cannot begin to stand that statement. I swear to God, that person is so full of herself. She needs to be brought down 10 steps down to earth.
Wow.
You hit a nerve.
You
hit a nerve.
Seriously, I asked God to lead the person. I mean, seriously, God's that jobless, dealing with wars, dealing with 150 other things. God knows what's happening. Man, people are so full of that shit.
She says it works. It works. She's got a good sourcer. God.
Maybe the sourcer is God. God is sourcing.
Maybe she recruits for the church or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. That I'll leave that. I'm not leaving that part. Okay.
Well, the question is that unless you ask him, it's just like that. Is there any flexibility? Unless you ask, he's busy. You have to ask him. Man, I should delete this show. I gotta
tell you. You have to delete this episode. Don't publish this. Yeah. If people see this, that's the end of it for all of us.
No, but hold on a second. I think here's where it would help her. Man, that would make me optimistic if I started a search and I knew God was on my side. What if I got to worry about 100 people who say no, and I know I've got it in the bag?
Can you imagine that being on your like clients? Like, well, why should we use you? Well, God's you're blessed. The triple.
I didn't think of that, Rich. Agency. I didn't think of that.
That's your differentiator. We have God on our side.
I mean,
he didn't give any numbers. We don't know his ratio.
Yeah. How obnoxious can you be as a person? I mean, this is beyond obnoxious. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, or I'm so pissed off.
Well, if I was the employer and she was asking for like Rich just said, But I hear there's a few problems in Sri Lanka right now. Maybe you could ask them to help out there too.
Sri Lanka is in shit. Okay,
It's in big trouble. I hope people don't get killed again like last time.
They're going to get killed. I mean,
crazy.
It is what it is. But I'm going there in a couple of months, so I'll call you from there.
From sure.
Well, I don't go if it's too bad. Okay.
You're making a difference.
I have to go. It's about time.
Okay.
I'll tell you personally later.
Okay, I think I'm getting a bit tired. So if does anybody else have a question, an issue they'd like to raise? I've got tons.
Yeah, I have a question. How do you get God to lead us in the search? I'm very curious.
Where is he?
Oh God! Oh, where is God being? God knows.
No, but you know what? Even if you're not a believer, it might help psych you up. I mean, if you go through the motions and say, "I need some help." I need some help with this one. Please lead me to the person.
And Animal, what happens when the candidate refuses the offer? God walked to the other room or what?
I don't know. She didn't say. I should go back there and play it out. Okay, and ask her a question. That's a good one. What if you get a
bring her on the show? Let's have some fun.
No, yeah. Okay, that wouldn't be you. What's David Marr says? It works for Shaolin monks who can do amazing feats. They're not recruiters, are they, Dave? Okay, they can make their bodies hot. Or I don't know if it's those Tibetan monks. They put ice water on their bodies, and then they go out and sit outside in the winter. And by meditating, they can generate enough heat to dry the sheets. Yeah, they put the sheets in ice water and put them around their bodies. Okay, it's harder to convince a jerk to take a job than to do that trick with the ice water. Okay, Dave. So don't tell me about the Shaolin monks. And the Shaolin monks, are they praying to gods or are they meditating for their own chi? Okay,
they focus on themselves.
Chi. Yeah, he's off base. Although lots of these people who we have the misconceptions about what people practice in their home countries, we think they meditate a lot when that's not really a common part of their religion. No, I won't go into that, but I know something, everybody, okay? I'm not totally...
Animal is proving that he's a man of the world.
Okay, to be a good recruiter, you have to work directly with the employer. This helps you understand what they're really trying to accomplish, and when the candidate knows that you're dealing with the hiring manager yourself, they view you as a more credible resource. What's your take on that?
What was the question?
Oh, okay.
Multitasking, Animal.
It wasn't a question. It was a statement. If you agree, if you're the recruiter, Rich, because I know that it's different for the big boss here, Mario. Okay, wants to have people working for him, but you're the recruiter, and you talk to the hiring managers and yourself and the client. This guy says it helps you because you're in direct contact to know what they really want. And when your candidates here, you were talking directly with the hiring manager, that makes them have extra confidence in you. Whereas Mario wants to pass the stuff on to somebody else.
I talk directly to the hiring manager. No, I do talk directly to the hiring manager.
Yeah, but you don't do the search.
I do the search also. I mean, you think my team's going to fill every position? I have to work too. If I rely on my team.
Let's get to Rich first, okay? Then I'll take you apart, Mario. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think if you run everything, you're going to have more control over everything. You're going to have truly an idea of what they want. Not third hand, not second hand. Here's the actual, the tone of their voice of what really is important. It all helps. Every little part's the whole recruiting process. It all little.
Okay. Yeah, but what Mario said when he works his own orders, yeah, fine. But you are a boss, a manager of a team, and you want to grow that team. Wait a second, yes. And you want to pass this. You want to pick up the order and pass it on to somebody else, right?
Yes, but I do pass it on with the direct notes from the client.
Not the same.
That's different.
Yeah,
it's not the same. I've done that myself, and the problem is
I cannot let my guys talk directly to the hiring managers. That's not going to work.
Okay, the thing is, if somebody else talks to
me. Mario, do you record the call with the hiring manager so they can actually hear the conversation?
Not really, but we are going to incorporate that with Hornet soon.
Yeah, you should. If you're going to pass it over, you might as well record it.
When I do all the sourcing and candidate development for someone else's order, if I'm part of a team, the problem is these guys who are the business development guys and the client hand holders, they don't like asking lots of questions. They don't like admitting that they don't know everything, right?
Yep.
So you're bugging them. Go ask them these questions. How am I supposed to do a search when you don't give me the information, right? And it's a gift from heaven when they agree to take you out, for a meeting with the client. Then you're asking, this guy picked up the order, but you're asking all the questions because you're the real recruiter. Okay. Go ahead, big boss. Go ahead. You rip me apart on that.
I agree with your point. You're correct. The problem is salespeople don't ask the necessary questions. Okay. And I totally agree with your point there.
But you're different. You are a hands-on recruiter as well as a salesperson.
It's important for sales and delivery to be on the intake calls.
Agreed.
Is that God?
Nice to hear you.
Is that God speaking? Point me in the direction, please. Okay, Dave, I got to say something. You're a good communicator. You should be a guest on this show one day when you're living in the modern world. When you've got good internet connection, then you should show yourself and be interviewed. Okay, time is up, everybody. Oh, there he is.
Hey,
okay, nice to see you at the end. Thanks, everybody. Ivan, Klang.so, MarioTheRecruiter.com, the great Rich Rosen, and David Marr, our new friend. Thanks, everybody. Bye.